Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's stream. We are going to get started in just a second. Just want to do a quick sound check, quick visual check. Frame rate looks good. What's my output at the moment? There's a good question. 4,500 kilobits per second, which is awesome. That's about roughly whereabouts you want to be, right in the middle of the green zone. So yeah, we'll do the quick audio check and everything, and then we'll get started. People in the chat, let me know if you can hear me. This is also a stream delay test as well. I'll do a transition while we're waiting. There we go. Right, so we're going to be doing a few things tonight. We are going to be doing 5 things tonight, to be precise. So a few was the right word to use. We're going to be planning and building a new line from Ninhill City to the north, which is where we currently are now. George can hear me, good stuff. We're then going to rebuild the Northern City line to realism standards. For those of you that don't know, the Northern City line is this one here. It runs between Gardcity, Great Winfield Airport and Renston Interchange. Connects with all the main lines that head out to the north and to the west from Gardcity, and also to the east, I suppose. We're then going to rebuild the North Valleys line between Warnbridge Airport and Beffingway, which is something we were supposed to have done 2 weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago, when we did the Grand Great Northern. And something came up, can't remember what it was now. I think I was tired or something, so it didn't get done. So we're going to do that tonight. We are then going to switch out rail for water. This kind of goes back to something I think it was Frank Berry said, to do with suggesting ideas for future episodes, one of which was don't just use rail and road for freight, also use ships. And I think that's a brilliant idea, and we are in fact going to be doing that. So we're going to be building a new canal between Gardcity North Freight Terminal and Gardcity South Freight Terminal, and that new canal is going to run via the Gard River and also Gard Lake, and also via a new channel way that I'm going to be building tonight. I've already planned out the route, so it's just a case of building it. And then we're going to set up some cargo ships to run along that route. The reason we're doing that is because this little train here, hang on, let me just pin this so I don't lose track of where I am. This little train here, it currently runs between Gardcity South Freight Terminal and Moningpool Falls Freight Terminal, and it just carries goods, manufacturing supplies, food, things like that. Although I might try and see if there's a way to make it not carry food. We'll see about that. So we have the mineral train that runs between Moningpool Falls and Gardcity North, and then we have the manufactured train that runs between Moningpool Falls and Gardcity South. Currently, the only way for materials manufactured at Moningpool Falls to get to Sinwood, which is right up at the top next to Honingville, the only way it can do that is to go on a train to here, and then change here and get on the train that goes to Landingway Industrial Estate, and then change there and get on a train that goes to Gardcity North Freight Terminal, and then change there to get on a train that runs up to Sindwood Industrial Park. It's a little bit lengthy, so we're going to try and cut out the middleman a little bit and run boats directly from Gardcity South to Gardcity North. They will take longer, so I'm not entirely sure that they will be the most used, but in terms of changes, it will be quicker, and I'm hoping that that's what the game factors in when it decides how to transport cargo. Let's head back over to Ninhill. The other thing I wanted to say was to do with patches. So the Joker's Lieutenant Joker patch is the patch that I'm using, version 1.27.1. I did make an attempt. Those of you who go on the OpenTTD Reddit community, you might have already seen this. I did make an attempt to increase the vehicle order limit from 256 to I wanted to do 1012, but I did a 1024. Sorry, I wanted to do 1024 as a test, but I decided to do 512 instead. Kind of go halfway and see if that worked. It didn't. The reason is I'm a novice when it comes to programming. There are certain programming languages that I'm really good at. HTML is one of them, CSS. I'm starting to get into JavaScript a little bit more, and I'll tell you why that is in a second. But yeah, the source code for the game is very, very complex and very, very complicated, and there are literally hundreds of script files, all in different languages, mostly C++, which is something I've never used before. So yeah, it was kind of an uphill battle, let's say. So I put a message on the OpenTTD Reddit community, and I'm very, very grateful to, and I really must remember who it was that responded. That's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Come on. Wait for the Reddit app to respond. Oh, it's not working. Of course it's not working. Why would it work when I need it most? Post replies. But yeah, basically it is possible to increase the order, or at least in theory it's possible to increase the order. Lugnuts K was the person who responded. Very good response. Basically put everything that I'd asked, and I'm very, very grateful to them for getting back and kind of creating hope, because I didn't think it was possible. Having looked at it, I thought it was just hardwired into the game. 256 was the limit, and we'd have to come up with an alternative for the high speed. But it might be possible to do it to 1024. But it will involve rewriting a lot of code in the game, not just meddling with a couple of numbers, which I thought it was going to be. So there's my naivety, but also it is a hefty job. So if there's anyone out there who's watching this who can play around in the matrix for me, I'll be very, very grateful, because that's kind of a stumbling block at the moment, is the order limit. And it's not just the high speed where that's become a problem. Running trains up on the Grand Northern line, I keep saying Great Grand Northern because that was the name of the video, but running trains up on the Grand Northern line will also be impossible without an increase in order limit, and also running trains down the West Wind South line down to Sanley will also be impossible without raising the order limit. So if anyone can do that, that would be great. I also did ask in that post about adding scheduled dispatch, and the guy who created scheduled dispatch got in touch and said he wrote it specifically for JGR's patch. He hasn't tested it with other versions of the game. He didn't actually say whether it was possible to add it to Lieutenant Jokers, or even how to add it to Lieutenant Jokers, because I did say I didn't know where to find a download for it. There's no individual file. Like some patches, you just download the patch file and then you add it to the patch pack, and then you write some code to sort of blend it in. There was no option to do that. There's no individual file download for that. So I'm going to assume that there is no individual file download for that. And then, yeah, that's another problem that needs solving. So again, if anyone knows how to do that, please get in touch. For now, though, that means that there will be no Lieutenant Joker patch M4J version, which is kind of annoying and it's kind of disappointing, but there is hope on the horizon still. Anyway, let's stop rabbiting on. George, you said you had line ideas that you wanted to share. Feel free to do so as we start to plan out this route. So, actually, since I've mentioned his name, George left a comment last week on the ideas page on Reddit. This line here, I remember asking a couple of weeks ago in a stream, where's this line supposed to go? And I couldn't remember, and I spent ages trying to remind myself, and I still couldn't remember. But it is possible to link it up to Flame, which is what George suggested. However, I don't think I'm going to be doing that, because we already have this line here joining up to Flame, and although it's meant to be a junction station, I feel like we have too many lines coming in and out. Another option was, where are we? Build it straight over and connect it to this bit here, which is part of the cross-country route, and then have it run up via Doneborough and onwards. But I think I'm going to make it its own line. I think I'm going to make it cross over at Prathing Bridge, maybe with a connecting station. So join these platforms, Prathing Bridge North up to this line, and then continue northwards, maybe go through Ben Hatton, because it's a big town that's not been connected yet, Drewfingford, same thing, Flindingbury, same thing, and just keep heading north until we hit... I don't want to connect to the Blue Lagoon, so it's going to have to be... Unless we go all the way up to St. Halter. We could do that. Because then we can run trains as part of West Rail that will then join up with this line here, the Northern City line, and then continue all the way around, down here, down here, down here, down here, and then go down to the airport, and then continue west from the airport. Maybe using this branch, if not, maybe using the main line here, and perhaps going all the way over to Morningpool Falls. We shall see. There's an option on the table at least. Maybe actually have that service go all the way down to Fort Flonwood. That could work. That could work. But yeah, we're going to build the route. Or we're going to plan the route first. So feedback is always appreciated. Let's try and get this route done. So I think we are going to go straight across to Prathing Bridge. Excuse me, frog in the throat already. We've barely started. It's actually died. No, I will go straight across. And then we will go over this way to Benhatton. Yeah, that one I already know because you suggested it below what we're doing now. So that's on the list. It's probably going to be next week because we're going to be doing like southeastern stuff next week and third rail stuff. So it's on the to-do list. That's for sure. Actually, maybe we turn west here. I think if we go up this way and then go over here maybe. What's this way? Okay, so there's some big towns here that haven't been connected up yet. So we can run like along here and then up north through this. Should we go through a big tunnel here? I think we'll turn west again. Actually, maybe we could just terminate here. Blue Lagoon line does go there, so we'll bridge over that and go into a new station here at Keffingley. I kind of like that. I think we'll do this. Yeah, I think we'll do this. Alright, let me just read the chat. The other was to extend a line nearby near Sanley. So hang on, let's look at this stuff. Again, I'll pin this here just so we can find our way back. So the first one was Charwood, which is down. Where's the third rail line? That's this one here. Runs along here, under there. Yeah, Charwood is right the way down here. Wow, Charwood's bigger than I remember. And then yeah, it becomes 2-track. I might even make continue as 4-track, you know. And this could be this could be the Gardcity Southwestern main line, or the Southwestern main line, probably Southwestern. And we're not that far away from the Western Reaches South, but far enough away that it can be its own main line. So your idea was to extend this down to Chadston. Now where? Alright, there's Chadston. Okay, so down to the next big town, essentially, Peddingham and Chadston. Then turn east and join the planned Munfingford to Plenborough line at Sunhatton. Game's gonna lag. I haven't unpaused it in a while as well, so hopefully we don't have to move any trains. Oh, I've got the spinning ring of death. There we go. Oh, no. White screen of death now. And now we zoomed out. So Sunhatton is over here. Is this line supposed to go through there? Did we plan out a line? Oh yeah. There it is. Okay. So that's doable. The other was to extend a line nearby, near Sanley, which is down here. Yep. From Brehill. Where's Brehill? To the Plenborough-Munfingford line. Then continue to Tarnway and Funston. Okay, where's Brehill? Is it one of the junction stations by any chance? I'm rather hoping it is. Let's Sonley Market. Isn't there another? Slonwood. Evening, Frank. It was planned as a branch line, I think. Okay, hang on. Whoops, gone way past it. There's a Brett Hill. There's a Bren Hill. Ah, Brehill City. Is that what you were talking about? No, this is on the Grand Northern, so it can't be that one. Brett Hill? There's Brett Hill. Which I've now lost again. Brett Hill. It was Brett Hill. Right. Spelling's important. If you're good, I mean, look how many towns there are. I don't even know if there's a way of finding out just how many towns there are. But there's a lot. So I need the right spelling in order to be able to find these places. So you want a line from Sanley from... Wait. The other was to extend a line near Sanley from Brett Hill to the Plenborough-Munfingford line, then continue to Tarnway and Funston. I don't really know what you mean. Brett Hill's not near Sanley. This line here goes down to Plenborough from Sanley. Yeah, some of the references from the old map are probably outdated now, because a lot of lines, particularly around this area, are a little bit different now. I mean, there's Brett Hill. We know that. There's a line over here that goes to Waterside that we planned out. Bren Hill. Ah, right, from there. Okay, hang on. From Brenhill to the Plenborough to Munfingford line, which is a long way this way. That's this one here. And then continue to Tarnway and Funston, which is... This is up to Munfingford, isn't it? Yeah. Right, hang on. Brenhill. So from Brenhill, you want it to interchange, I'm guessing, with the Plenborough to Munfingford line. That's a long way. And then continue to Tarnway and Funston, northeast. Right, hang on. Where's Brenhill again? Do you want it to go northeast? Across here. So it'll probably be at like Little Drenborough. I'm wasting a lot of time doing this, by the way. Tarnway and Funston. Okay. Maybe. Maybe. I'm going to build the line that we're going to build now from Ninhill. Keep thinking on that. I think it's too far to go to Tarnway and Funston, but we can definitely interchange with the Plenborough to Munfingford line. Have I just broke the game again? I think I have. It's a big old map. This is a powerful PC as well, and it is struggling. Alright. We're in. Wow, you do forget how many lines there are crisscrossing across the map here. Kind of catches you off guard every time you see it. It certainly catches me off guard every time I see it. Okay, so from Ninhill, we're going to extend to the north. Let's just do it as a cutting. Clicking in all the wrong places. And then Prathring Bridge. Are we going to go over or under? I'd like to go under, because then we can kind of join up here. But then over might work better. I think we'll be going over. Which does mean doing a little bit of demolition here. How long's that? That's 4 tiles. Needs to be a little bit longer. There we go. Drive a wedge completely through the town. Okay. Let's go boring. Concrete viaduct. It's the 70s/80s. I think we're in the 80s now, aren't we? So definitely boring viaducts. Concrete everywhere. And then we'll lift that bit up. We'll have a little girder. So yeah, I think this will be trains like Fort Flonwood Central over to... Actually, maybe Fort Flonwood Parkway. Thinking about it. All the way over to... I can't remember where this was terminating now, but to that place, wherever it is. We'll go boring concrete again. So yeah, quick update. I talked about HTML and CSS coding just now. The M4J website. Monday is going to be the day. I don't know what time yet, but at some point during Monday, the new website will be going live. So you'll be able to go on there and you'll be able to download the latest version of the M4J network. So anyone who wants to get their hands on it and have a go, anyone who, particularly if they're wanting to support me on Patreon and they want to, yeah, I'm going to have to remove that, and they want to see what kind of franchises are available, that's mainly what it's for. You can build on it and stuff as well, because at the end of the day, once you've downloaded it, it's yours. Can't really do much about that. But as I say, don't try and pass it off as your own. That's the only rule, really. Because I've seen people do that in the past, and it's one of the douchiest moves you can do. Is take someone else's work and try and make it look like it's yours. And at the end of the day, I'll know. And if you piss me off like that, then yeah. Anyway, let's be positive. M4J website is coming very, very soon. So yeah, feedback will be appreciated. I've tried to put my social media on there. Some were a little bit easier to do than others, shall we say. Facebook and Twitter are on there. Reddit is on there. It doesn't look very good because it's kind of an embedded script, and I don't know if you can actually use it to comment or whether you can just view what's already been posted. But even so, it's still a good way to kind of keep your finger on the pulse with everything that's going on M4J related. So yeah, hopefully everyone's looking forward to that, particularly those who have been helping designing stations and things like that. It means you guys have a fresh copy of the map that you can actually get your hands on and have a play around with. Yeah, that'd be helpful. That would be helpful. All the ones that are already in use, so like all the main termini and things like that, keep them as they are. But all the other ones, I'm trying to think actually. So the ones that are listed on the Jeffries network, keep those as they are. But all the ones that haven't got station codes yet, go nuts. Make up your own kind of thing. Am I putting this line through the right spot? I suppose I am. It's the usual thing though. If you download the map and you want to be part of helping develop it, you have to remember to do it the way that I would do it. Which sounds really dumb when you say it like that, but at the end of the day, standardization is the key word in that. Plus, someone might build something that I hadn't thought of, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to post a latest edition of the map. Because it's not so much that I'm running out of ideas, but it's more I'm running out of ideas with certain things that I've been having trouble with. So if someone else finds a solution to the problem, that would be brilliant. Alright, yeah, I'm going to go up the east side of Flindingbury. And then we'll drop down here. And then we'll start the turn. We'll go a little bit further on actually. Maybe over here. And then somewhere up here we will start the turn towards Bronzetown. Yeah, something like that. Looks good. We'll get rid of that, that, and we'll remove this bridge for now. We'll build the track underneath these two bridges instead of the river. So it will be like so. And then, yep, do that. Should we tunnel here? I think we will. I think we'll go straight. Mind you, we're supposed to be on the north side of Funbury, so we might have to build another. Actually, we could do that. We could build an interchange station here, let's say. I think I know the rule. If it is a two-word station, it is the first two letters of the first word and the first letter of the last word. A three-word is quite obvious, and one word is just the first three letters, unless it is taken by another station. Each will get a unique three-letter code. That's not how I was doing it, actually. The way I was doing it was phonetically. But even then, I had no strict rule, because I had a lot of stations that kind of sounded the same when you said them out loud, so I was trying to make those different, obviously. But things like Gronwell Superior was it GRW? I think it was GRW. That's a really bad example anyway. Like, Great Winfield Airport is GWA, because that is easy. Sunnington was SUN. Fort Flonwood Parkway was FFP. But there were some exceptions, like Morningpool Falls was MON. So that was an exception. But yeah, as long as each has their own unique three-letter code, that's fine. But they've got to make sense. So like, don't put GAR for something that begins with B and has no GAR or R in it, because that wouldn't make sense. Over or under? Actually, I think we'll go under. Yeah, I think we can go under. Something like that. Doesn't need to be that long. Can be 5. And I bet a signal appears right in the middle of that to mess things up, but we'll see. Alright, you and you. Done. So we'll continue straight along here to go around the mountain rather than trying to go up and over it. We'll get rid of that, whatever it was. I think it was an aluminium plant, I'm not 100% sure. We'll make a little inlet there. I'm kind of focusing on these waterways a little bit more now. So like, instead of just demolishing the river, I've kind of made that potentially become a route for ships to use. How far away are we from... Yeah, we're quite close to Drennington and Thameslink Bridge, so wouldn't be a bad thing. Alright, we're nearly there. So we'll come across a little bit more, and now we'll start turning to head north. So we'll go to there. And then we'll climb up the hill a little bit. So what do we want to do? Rotfield and Sart Bridge. There's a route here. This was the old Blue Lagoon route. I think we'll repurpose it. Could I use that as a rule though, as it might be easy to remember? Yeah, that's fine. Like as I say, the existing stations keep as they are, but for the new ones, if that helps, then do it. Because at the end of the day, I'm not too fussed what they are. The idea is to make them easy to distinguish. So, whatever system makes them easy to distinguish is obviously a functioning system. I'm talking absolute rubbish right now. So yeah, Rotfield. I think we'll go across, find a gap here, and then just go straight through this. So we will have a station here, just off the bridge. And then you'll go that way, and you'll go that way, and then we're going to go in a straight line through Rotfield, which means this here can actually be redone like that. And like that. Right, clear this. And clear that. I also have to do a website for uni, and it has to be a business made up, obviously. I've chosen Gardcity Western Railway. They've said that's fine. That's cool. Is it going to be hosted online, or is it just a prototype thing? That'd be really cool to see, actually. I had a really good idea then, but I don't think it's going to work. Actually, yeah, no, it could work. We can just make this bit single track. Do we interchange with the Blue Lagoon? I really don't think we need to. Or think we should. So I'm probably not going to. Yeah, that's something I did not think about actually when I set up this channel and started this series, was people using it as a case study for a uni project. That's pretty damn cool. Alright, there's our terminus. Let's do this. Oh shit. Okay. Keep me posted on it though. Definitely interested in seeing how that progresses. Because then we can start, or you can start for that, coming up with logo designs and stuff for the franchise. I don't think I'd be able to integrate them into this. But it's always nice to have that kind of thing kicking about anyway. That's, yeah, one way of putting it. It's one of the like my uni project wasn't the best, as you can tell. I mean, you can go on the website for yourself and see how absolutely terrible it is. But when I was coming up with ideas for it, I really felt like that I was at my most creative. So I was coming up with all sorts of wacky ideas. Like it didn't make it into the final website, but I had actually the transport animation that's on there. I don't even know if that works anymore because I think Flash isn't supported by any web browser these days. But that was part of the idea. There was supposed to be a theme park one as well with a roller coaster model, and there was a football for the sports. It was meant to be a really cool using something called was it 3JS or JS? I think it was 3JS, which is like all interaction. So as you scroll down the page, little animations will play and stuff like that. And it was meant to be really, really good, and it just didn't happen. I could not get the code to work no matter what I tried. It was so frustrating. So yeah, the new website's got a couple of cool features. Nothing too out there, shall we say? But yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy it. I like it. There's a lot I can change about it, but because it's hosted, I can just tweak things as and when necessary. Not even supported by No, I know they stopped it. It's really stupid. My lecturer at uni told me, Flash is brilliant, and then the second year was when they changed it from Flash to Animate, and then it was Animate is brilliant. Let me just move this bag that's under my feet so you don't hear it crinkling all night. Yeah, it was like Flash is brilliant, and then it was Animate is brilliant, and then final year it was, oh, they're not supporting it anymore, and that was it. So yeah, that was something. Alright, let's build a station. My PC's really lagging tonight. Stream's not buffering, is it? No? Looks fine. No frame droppage at least, that's what it's saying. Not that one, that one. And then a couple of shelters. Let's go with this type. So I think if we have this one here, it kind of serves Sartbridge and Sindinghall. But I will have another station. Actually, no, maybe I won't. Maybe part of the sale of this will be the stations are quite far apart. So then the next one will be all the way over here. Oh, there's a signal. I don't think we need that one. No, I don't think we need that one. We'll remove that. And we will put... actually, do you know what? I will do this. Just so we could put a road bridge there. Kind of give it a reason to exist, So let's go there. And tickets. Sign. What should we do? This one? And we'll call this literally made up off the top, well, not quite made up off the top of my head. I was thinking about Fantasia Land, and they got a roller coaster called Taron. So there we go. That's that done. That's the other thing I was going to say. My website will have a Planet Coaster page. There's nothing... I mean, there is a download page in the works for it, but there isn't really anything you can download from me to do with Planet Coaster. Pretty much everything will be available on Steam Workshop. So I'm debating whether to keep that or not. But again, I can add and remove things as and when, so it's all good. My thought was I could use my autism to my advantage and get really interested in the website, as it would mean I'm more likely to want to spend time on it. Yeah, I mean, you can do that regardless. It's what I've been doing with my website, is finding reasons to actually work on it. So a download page, bringing it up in the stream like this. The reason I've been sitting on it for so long is I wanted it to not be a monumentous day when it gets launched. Not quite as theatrical and dramatic as that, but something a bit more than just me mentioning one day, oh, by the way, the new website's live. So it will be Monday, 1st of October. That is Monday, isn't it? Yeah, should be Monday. So there's going to be a little bit of fanfare, but it's not going to be, you know, free giveaways or anything like that. Not quite that exciting, unfortunately. But if you've been waiting to get your hands on the map, that is quite exciting. So it's entirely subjective. That's what I'm looking for. And then just use this one again. We'll rename all these stations in a second. We'll build the new platforms at Prathing Bridge. Now, what side are we going to build them on? I was going to build them here. I could still... no, actually no, because it would make that corner a bit too small. So I suppose we could do it here. These platforms could get moved up. Plus Prathing Bridge North will just become Prathing Bridge. Oh yeah, that was the other important thing I was going to say. Very important thing. The map will be up to date as of tonight, this stream. So as soon as this stream finishes, I will save the game, and that will be the file that you will download. The other ones I think are already. One of them, the very first download, is just a straightforward, you click the button and it downloads it for you. The others take you to a Google Drive link. Don't panic when that happens. There should be an option to just download. If there isn't, please do let me know, and I will fix that, because that is something that I'm a bit worried might not work as intended to start with. So we'll get that working as quickly as possible if it doesn't work. Right, so Prathing Bridge North is just going to be Prathing Bridge. The other thing as well, George, if you're going to do the station codes, there will be some that the name of the station might change. So if the station code still fits, then I'll obviously use that one. If it doesn't, then I might have to change the code. But it hopefully won't be a massive change. Like, the name of the town should still be the same. Right, a lot of these stations are pretty much just going to be name of the town. This one. The only one that isn't is this one, because it's out in the middle of nowhere. So the upper platforms will probably be built directly on top, if not slightly to the south, so that there's an equidistance between these two stations. And then yeah, you'll be Sartbridge Central. Actually, maybe we could have a homage to the fact that it used to be Blue Lagoon, Sartbridge Lagoon, and then you are just Wanfingley Central, whereas you are just going to be Wanfingley. That should be distinguishable. Should be. Right, that is first thing ticked off. Good stuff. So, plan and build. New line from Ninhill City to the north. Done. Rebuild Northern City line to realism standards. That's the second part of tonight's stream. We've been going for nearly an hour. Wow. And all I've done is waffle and build one line. This is probably going to be a 3-hour stream. Yeah, this is probably going to be a 3-hour stream. That's fine though. Right, so yeah, rebuild Northern City line. So, some of these stations here will be removed as well. So some of these stations will get lost as we rebuild the lines. Some will get moved. Some might even get renamed. For example, here, I'm kind of tempted to remove the Trunley Market Heights. I don't know though. Actually, you could leave it how it is on some as a resemblance to its former name, as they do in the UK. Bicester Village is BIT, even though it is no longer Bicester Town. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it won't change too dramatically. I'm not going to change Gardcity to Brampton or something stupid like that. You know, it will be the same name in theory. It'll just be like, instead of west, it might be north, or instead of east, it might be central, something like that. So this can all be one straight line. The re-signaling job on this is going to be an absolute pain in the neck as well. So yeah, Gondwood is going to have its station moved. We're going to build it here instead. What have we got? Might need to go with the plant barge. So you are Gondwood. 2, 3, and 4. So the track will now go like this. Reason so is you go there, you go there, just to straighten this up a little bit more. And then we'll have a couple of tunnels. We need to extend this. There we go, and then you can join up with the line again, just up here. There we go, and then we'll sever this. Still haven't quite got the hang of A, the new mouse that I'm using, and B, the fact that the screen is a lot bigger, and yeah, I misclick a lot. And there's, like, in this game it doesn't matter as much because you just get the red box and, you know, it's not a huge deal. But some of the games I play, like RimWorld, if you misclick, it can be the difference between someone living and someone dying. And I have killed a couple of people because I've misclicked. Okay, so that's that done. We'll do the. I might do the re-signaling off camera actually, because it's probably going to be an absolute pain, as I've already said. Right, let's make this just go straight like this. So this station here, Fradingham, is going to get moved to over here. Yes. And I know I'm destroying a lot of stuff, but it will grow back. Okay, does that work? Yes, it does. Good stuff. So yeah, this can be new Fradingham. Let's actually make it what the original Fradingham was. Actually, you know, Fradingham West works better as a name. Just put a hut, some kind there. So this station here can become 5 tiles instead of just 4. Stairs? Yeah, I think stairs works. I'll have to put a station building somewhere. And we can put that as a sign, because if there's a station building, that's where you buy tickets from. So this curve here needs to change as well. So we'll do all of this now too. So the center is a little bit further over. Is it there? No, it's a little bit further over still. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like we need to do this. One, two, three, four. We will need waypoints here as well. In fact, do we even need 4 tracks here? We probably don't now. But yeah, this is mainly so that fast trains can overtake slow trains. Well, saying that, there might be a series of waypoints before the split here as well. Kind of like what we've got on the coastal lines. The trains speed up and slow down depending on whether they're turning off the main line or not. I don't know. I think I'm overthinking it a little bit. So let's put you there, you there. Actually, let's do the join and then go up. Reason being is then all the signals are based in the tunnels then. Just makes life a little bit easier. And again, resignaling will be done in a second. This is quite simple. We're just going to extend the curve. So you are going to go out to there. You are going to go along to there. We'll lift this back up. There we go. Bring you down, bring you up. And then along here, no doubt there'll be a series of waypoints. So the speed limit on this line is pretty much going to be 75, between 60 and 75. But places like this junction here, it's going to be like 35, maybe 45. Probably 35, just to be realistic. This bit's all fine. I can't see any changes that need to be made here. I think from here, we're not too bad. Yeah, I think we're okay now. Going into Renston. So the line here will be used by CentreRail services mostly, calling at all stations. But we will have cross-country use this route as well to get between the east and the west. I think that'd be it. Cross-country, cross-region, and CentreRail probably be the trains that use this. Some of them, when they get to Renston, like there's one that will terminate here, I believe, and then there's another one that will continue off probably up this way, and then there's another one that will continue off this way. The current Gardcity Great Eastern Reningbury service will get replaced with CentreRail. I think we've already explained all this anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. So yeah, this is technically finished. Where are these trains going? Good. For the longest time, these trains weren't carrying anything. Particularly the ones from Morningpool Falls to Gardcity, and I was wondering why, and I was getting more and more worried about why. And it turned out I forgot to do refit orders on this train here, and I also forgot to do refit orders on the one that ran between Lanning Way and Gardcity South. So they were capable of carrying the cargo, but because I wasn't telling them to refit, they weren't carrying the cargo. So I just, quick change on the old timetable, and it happened to work. What happens to Mason Way? Remind me where Mason Way is. Oh, this was a mistake as well. Opening any menus in this game is a mistake. Oh, Mason Way is the station out of... Yeah, good question. I do know what you mean. I don't need to look for it on there because I do know where it is. Mason Way is this little station here. It will probably still get used. one of the services that I mean, it's used as a waypoint anyway, so that's fine. So yeah, you're the GSJ to Reningbury service. I might get the... I might create a new service that will use this. Maybe shuttle between GSJ and Renston. Yeah, it will definitely get reused. Maybe if I built a new bay platform down here at Pendingston, it would get used by that. Because we could take this road out and stick it in there instead. And then, yeah, have a little terminator that does that. That could work. That could work. Although we'd have to fiddle with the waypoints to get it to work. We will see. It will be like a 1 train an hour service as well, so nothing too extravagant. But yeah, rebuild Northern City line. Done. So the next thing we're going to do, rebuild the North Valleys line between Warnbridge Airport and Beffingway, including the freight shortcut. So for those of you that didn't see the video of me rebuilding Beffingway, am I going the right way? Don't think I am. Just trying to get my bearings. Right, yeah, Honingville. Here we are. I know where we are. Right. So Warnbridge Airport is here. When I rebuilt Beffingway, I did a couple of tweaks over here at Gardcity, Puntingford Airport. Forgot the name. Shuttle might be best. Yeah, it'll be a shuttle service of some kind. I'm still not happy with this layout, by the way. First of all, Parfingford is now growing onto this side of the tracks, which I'm happy about, but this bridge just feels like overkill. I really want to link it up on this side, but I can't really because of the waypoints. Unless I got rid of this viaduct and linked it there, which I could do. But then there's no... I didn't want to do it because of there's a waypoint and then there's no signal before the station. So I could either shorten the platform by a tile, or I can run the track through here, or I could just leave it and pretend I'm not bothered by it. I probably will do the latter, to be honest. Just leave it for now. But yeah, freight trains will now be able to use the North Valleys line here, which is fine until we get to here. And then it starts to go a little bit wrong, because this is quite a steep... Actually, is it a steep hill? No, Warnbridge isn't as high as I thought it was. In that case, we won't need to worry about that. Yeah, freight trains can run through here. Oh, there's a little bit of a step up here. But, I mean, that's doable. That is doable. Some of our more powerful freight trains will charge up that slope. So yeah, we're going to start this rebuild now. Are there two sets of tunnels? No. Thought there was then, but no. Get rid of all these. So this is going to be the new, and I don't think we'll have tunnels. I think we'll just have a cutting. He says, as he carves a hole through the landscape. Oh, I'm making a right pig's ear of this. Why is it? There we go. That's what I wanted. We'll get rid of you. We'll lower you. So I think there's a step. Oh no, there isn't at all. Gernmeyer plays. Welcome. Hello. How are you doing this evening? So we might actually be able to build a new station over here. I doubt it, but you never know. Right, let's straighten this up a little bit more as well. There we go. So that was bothering me for so long, trying to get that to look nice. And now we can put some waypoints in here. So the line speed of this section can probably be 75 miles an hour again. If it wasn't before. Doing good. Just saw your stream and I had to start watching it. Well, you're very, very welcome. Feel free to check out the previous episodes as well, if you so wish. It gives you a better idea of the context of what we're building here. But yeah, always nice to have new people on board. Pardon the pun. Do I want this track to be a bit... I suppose zigzags aren't the worst thing in the world. We could have a couple of waypoints for slow down, speed up. Just to go through this section. I mean, if it's 75 here and 75 here, we could probably go down to like 55 just to navigate this section. No problem. And yeah, we could in fact build another station over here. So what, you're just Gartfield, aren't you? Yeah. We'll leave it as it is for now. We will leave it as it is for now. And I will do the signalling here, just to make sure this is functioning. Yeah, it works out pretty well. Waypoints and stuff we'll add in some other time. So right, yeah, the exit now. I think I was obsessed with tunnels when I built this route. The idea of it just being like a very hilly, mountainous, constantly going through tunnels and running on cliff edges type of thing. And it's kind of like that still over at Sunnington. But over here, it's a bit too flat for that. So this is still the North Valley's route, but it's less valley-ish. Still very much northern though. Ah, thank you for the compliment. Yeah, we've been streaming OpenTTD every week for the last... That's a very good question actually. How long has it been? A few months now. Definitely a few months. I can't remember the exact day that we started. But yeah, if you go back through the series, you'll find the stream that we first started, or the video that was the first stream. So I did do a couple of like behind the scenes streams on Twitch, and then realized really for this series my audience is on YouTube. So I thought I'd give YouTube streaming a try, and it's actually kind of good. It has its moments. Right, this can all get straightened. So again, it's about being realistic, this rebuild. So it's not necessarily building the straightest, flattest piece of track, but it's about making it so that you're not constantly speeding up and slowing down in order to go around all the corners, but you're also not running around corners at like 90 miles an hour when you really shouldn't be. I probably shouldn't have deleted that last signal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do you know what? I'll just put it there. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. We'll just do that. Right, this bit here is getting straightened as well. I don't know why I decided to strangle the town with track here. That was a bit of a dumb move. Probably because that industry was in the way and I didn't want to demolish it, but we're going to do that now. It's better streamed in my opinion, as you're able to talk during the stream as it is happening, make suggestions. Yeah, that's kind of what the idea was. Is to get direct feedback really, because making a video is great, but you spend 24 hours planning, recording, editing, uploading a video, and then it turns out it's not actually what the audience wanted to see. So it's good to base the streams around what people want. So everything that you're seeing streamed for the last few weeks has been based on audience suggestions. It's also nice to get direct feedback. So if I build something and it doesn't quite look right, instead of me coming back to it in 6 months and going, oh, that looks horrible, someone straight away in the chat can go, actually, I think this would look better if you did it this way. And it does make a massive, massive difference. Can I build you straight across? How cool would that be? How much track would we save doing this? We're kind of like, we're beaching, but how it should have been. So we want you to be across here. Like that, except you can't go further than that because there's a signal in the way. Let's remove that. Yeah, there's a few series I tried to stream as well. Global Ventures is one of them. That kind of works well as a time-lapse type series, because there are times I record that series in chunks. So like I'll get a bout of inspiration and I'll go record me building a coaster, and then I'll get that edited and upload it, and then 6 days later I might have another bout of inspiration for the next bit and I'll go record that. And it's a lot nicer doing it that way rather than having to do it on stream, because you're not always the most creative person in the world. I know I'm not, and it's nice to be able to just go away and do something else. So if I'm having trouble with Global Ventures, I'll go play some Factorio or RimWorld or Euro Truck or some OpenTTD and get my mojo back, as it were. But it might come back. I'm not ruling it out. I want more people to be interested in my Planet Coaster series, because it's the one that I actually enjoyed doing the most. And it's also the one that the park that I'm building in Planet Coaster I've had in my head pretty much ready to go for about 10 to 15 years now. So it's nice to finally have a game that I can build it in. I just wish more people would notice. The advantage of recorded videos is that you can't get distracted, which I consider to be very important. Yeah, I wouldn't say I get distracted by the chat during this. I might go off on a tangent, like I did earlier on when we were trying to find those towns for that route plan. But I mean, that's not a huge issue necessarily. I wouldn't say it's a problem. It's just I like interaction. My whole channel was built around the idea of interaction. It was frustration that I couldn't find videos of people playing the game the way I play the game. And I still now find it difficult to find people who play the game the way I play the game. So like when I went on the OpenTTD Reddit community to ask about upping the order limit, the guy wasn't being nasty, but not the guy who helped, but another guy just put a comment saying, "Wow, why do you need the order limit so high?" But as soon as I actually explained it to him, like, it's because I base my network on realism. So the high speed line, the line speed is 250 miles an hour. The station speed is 20 miles an hour, or the terminus, speed is 20 miles an hour, and the station speeds are 120 miles an hour. So that means to get from line speed to station speed, I needed 13 waypoints, and to get from line speed to terminus speed, I needed 23 waypoints. And when you have a train that's constantly stopping at stations along its route, and you can only have 250 orders, and you need 23 waypoints at each end, 46 really, to slow it down and then speed it up again in either direction, you very, very quickly hit the order limit. And that's why I need it raised. But yeah, once I'd explained it, it was actually, the guy was just like, "Oh yeah, no, that's fine, fair enough." And actually, Lugnuts, who came to my aid, offered some advice. One of the things he said was to go on the GitHub page for OpenTTD and raise an issue. I don't know if that's the technical term or not, but basically put in a request to whoever's writing the code for the source code for the game. I'm really not getting my words out well, and that's not anything to do with streaming. That's just me not being able to speak English for some reason. Yeah, his advice was to go onto the GitHub and actually raise it as an issue that the order limit is too low, because someone there might be able to raise the hard code of the game, so that when someone makes a patch of it, so if Lieutenant Joker ever decides to make a new version of his patch, he can use that as a base, and the order limit will be raised. So I think it's all well and good me going on there and raising an issue about the order limit being too low, but I think I'm going to need a few other people to put in the same request, probably at the same time as well, so it becomes like, if I just did it on my own, it just looks like one person has a problem with the game. But if like 6 of us, let's say, all at the same time posted on there, "By the way, the order limit could do with being raised," as long as we're all nice and polite about it, which I know we will be, it will get taken more seriously. So that's something to think about for people who want to offer a lending hand. Because I like the Realism Initiative. I think that was the best thing I did in the Majeffries network, and the fact that it carried over into this series as well has made it very, very challenging, I'll admit, but very, very enjoyable. And it is very, very satisfying when to see it all working. Right, we have rebuilt the Northern Valley line. So we didn't need the freight shortcut in the end, so don't need to worry about that. How are we doing for time? Hour and 13. We took ages to get started, and I was worried that we would overrun. But we're halfway through what I planned to do. So I'm quite happy with that. This little kink, I might just leave. Trains running around that at 75 miles an hour shouldn't be an issue. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else here that needed to be done. There was something actually over at... where was it? I think there was something I saw. Did we rebuild the North Valleys line from Warnbridge West? I think we did. Oh yeah, there was this... Yeah, we covered that. That's fine. This is all fine because I changed the corners when I electrified it. This corner here is fine. Yeah, everything here seems fine. No problems at all. Alrighty, so next up, we're heading back to the capital. And yeah, the other thing about these lines that I'm building now is I can pretty much start running trains immediately because they're built to realism standards. I haven't put the waypoints in or anything like that, so I still have to do that. Then I have to do speed limits, but then trains are good to go from that point onwards. And CentreRail is something that I will be getting on with in the next week or so. Probably off camera, well, almost definitely off camera, just to get the trains running, because I really want to see trains running through the core of Gardcity again. And speaking of core of Gardcity, wow, the game really lags around this part. So Gardcity South Freight Terminal is a long way south. Here it is. So I'll show you the plan that I've got to start with, and we'll go from there. So the plan is to build a channel of water that comes out this way, probably down to around here, and then curves northwards under these bridges here, and then carries on this way under this bridge here, turns this way, and then goes along here, probably under a new bridge here, so I'll have to rebuild the freight loop a little bit, and then along this way, and then pretty much straight north. So all these bridges here will get reused and become part of the canal. This tunnel here might become an issue, so we may have to move that a couple of tiles over. So in fact, if we built it there, then it would come out on this side of the motorway, which is probably a good idea. And then yeah, we'll keep running north here, and then it will join up with this little channel of water here, which will then connect up. We'll demolish this section of East Bank, and it will connect up with the Guard River here. So you can then run boats into Guard Lake, but turning north again, this section here, Rindingwell Embankment, will get turned into Rindingwell Bridge. I think we will have to cut the corner off here a little bit, but we'll keep running north here, and then we'll turn west. This will have to get turned into a new underwater tunnel, but then we join up with this body of water, and there's Gardcity North Freight Terminal. So that's the plan. I think we'll start from the north here and head south. That might work better. So this is all going to get demolished. Now these bridges, I think, are going to be a problem. And this station here, Rivers, is going to be a problem. So we've got Rivers and we've got Waterways. One of these stations, I think, is going to get removed. It's a question of which one. Let's oh god, what number are you? 17, 29, 109 and 122. 17, 29, except it's not now, it's 28, and then 107 and 120. So let's do 120 first, and then 107. So in terms of line speed, this should all be 40 miles an hour now. Where are we? 27 and 107? Yeah, so you are going to be 40. So that irons out one kink that we had. and what was it, 107? No? Yeah, 107. There it is. So Queen's Park HLR, you're still fine. Did we need a 20-mile-an-hour limit here? I don't think we did. Why is that dropped? So Queen's Park HLR is also 28. Yeah, you can also be... Where's Junction? Oh, wait. Junction is back over this way, I think. Yeah, that's Junction. So Junction to Brindhatton West is 20. Okay, and then Junction... I need to look at this. Halliday Circus, GSG. So you start at Shoreham Central. Right, that's where I was getting confused. And then at the end, there's Junction, 20 miles an hour, that's fine. So it's up here somewhere. There it is, between waterways and rivers. Speed limit is 40. And also between Queen's Park and waterways. Speed limit is 40. So this waypoint now has no trains going through it. Good. Let's turn this station round then. So the plan now then is to build the new station facing north to south. Japanese platforms. And you are the rounded type by the looks of it. 2 platforms, platform length 1. So you there, you there, you there. I think that's right. Probably should have used the single platforms for this, but oh well. Okay. Go to you. So now what's going to happen is... this is actually difficult. It's actually difficult. I think one of these stations, probably Rinfingford Docks, is going to go. So you only stop here twice, don't you? Yes, you do. So Rinfingford Docks is number 25 and 109. 25 and now 108. There. Go. Okay. Oops. So Rinfingford Docks Station is going to go. And it's going to be replaced by Rivers. Rivers? Rivers. Which is going to be, I guess, here. Like that. This Rivers is then going to get removed. And then we're going to line this up with this. And then Big Bridge. I knew I'd get that wrong. I knew I'd get that wrong. Right. Lower U, lower U, lower U. And here, lower these. There we go. We'll go with something nice and modern looking. Make it look a little bit nicer. Okay, now we've got to do this and this. So this river is going to be yay wide here. So we'll need to do this. Now I will have to unpause the game in a second, and this is where it's all going to go wrong, I bet. So the river here, I think it'll have to go out to there, maybe a little bit wider. So it is going to kind of curve in and then out again. So here, for example, it's going to run up like this. And then along the top, and then back again. So I don't know what's going to happen with this overground line. I think it might have to get moved over. I think that will go like that. And that will go like that. I think this looks okay. Because yeah, we need to get to the other side of the overground tracks. And then we'll be fine. Right, let me save the game. And then I'm going to unpause it. Let the water fill in this channel. Actually, I think we'll move the overground tracks first. Because I might have just come up with a solution. Or have I? No, I don't think I have. Let's just save the game for a second. Right, unpause the game. We'll get this overground train in the middle of the screen there to move. Come on, game. It's incredibly slow. There's so much that it has to process. I will put that out as a disclaimer, actually. If you are going to download the map, just bear in mind that it takes a lot of processing and RAM in order to make it work. So don't download it and then comment on the video saying, why is it not working? Because that's a hardware issue. That's not my fault. Also, you got to make sure you have the right version of the game. And my new GRF folder will be on there as well. So if you just download everything that's in that folder and add it to your own, then it'll work. Come on. Come on, PC. So yeah, I think what I might do, this is Rindingwell Embankment. We'll leave that station as is, but Queen's Park Overground, I think we'll move the station to here. And then have the track run straight up here. And then the river can just go down the gap that's left behind. I think that'll work best. And then we can run ships up and down. So this was the bit I was dreading the most, because this is the bit that arguably needed the most destruction and rebuilding. That being said, East Bank has a hell of a job to do as well, which we'll be getting on with in just a second. I don't think we'll be adding ships today, though. I think this is enough for that for one stream. So the ships will get added off camera. It's just a case of back and forth via a few waypoints, so it's nothing special. You'll see it get added to the service schedules list, which you can also check out on the website, by the way. It'll all be on there. There's only so much commentary I can do while I'm waiting for the game to load. Does anyone have any comments or questions or anything like that while we're waiting for the game? Now is the best time to ask. And I will do my best to answer. Hmm. Oh, YouTube's just told me I'm live. That's nice. Doesn't appear to be any questions at the moment. Come on, game. I'll tell you, it doesn't take this long when I'm not streaming. I think streaming does make it go a lot slower. I'm assuming it doesn't make my PC go into hibernation as well. You guys can still hear me, right? Whoops, just kicked my stool. Okie dokie. Alright, we have a question. 710s have started on Watford DC, Azumas to begin on Aberdeen line on the 25th of November, and Inverness on the 5th of December. Glasgow began on Monday. That's cool. They're finally being rolled out across the whole network then. I wasn't aware of the 710s though. That's good news. I know that this month is free travel on the Gospel Oak to Barking line, which is great, apart from the fact that I have no reason to use the Gospel Oak to Barking line, so I will not be taking advantage of that offer. Oh, this is so slow. I'm actually tempted now. So the lake off to the left, I think that does reach Plint Bridge Parkway. If it does, I'm going to put a docks there and have passenger boats travelling up and down this river, shuttling people to Plint Bridge. I think that would be quite cool. Nice little interchange. It'll move around people a lot faster as well. That's next on my to-do list as well, is to get... We got the buses and the trams to an extent up and running in Gardcity again. It would be nice to get the water taxis up as well. I was considering helicopters at some point too, but that's kind of like future Gardcity, not right now. Oh, this is really slow. Really, 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 really slow. I think I might have to restart the game. So get ready for the M4J logo. Apparently TFL may end up getting rid of Oyster in favour of contactless due to its limitations on where it can go. For example, can only go to West Drayton. Where's my cursor? There it is. I think keeping oysters is fine. There's nothing wrong with them. There we go. OpenTTD shut down. And let's get it loaded up again. This is why we save now before we unpause. Come on, PC. Yeah, I think keeping oysters is fine, because the thing you've got to remember is contactless cards is great, but oysters is good for when you have money for only a limited period of time. So you can quickly put money on your Oyster card, and then it's there for you when you need it. Whereas if you're just relying on your bank account the whole time, if you do go into financial troubles for whatever reason, you end up losing out, which isn't really fair. Right, unpause the game. Ta-da! Look how quick that was. There's a lot of good things about Oyster cards. I definitely think keeping both systems is the better idea. Tube numbers are up. That's encouraging, actually, to see that going up, because they were declining a lot in recent years. So that's very, very encouraging. Right, I think this gap here is just about right. If it isn't, we'll demolish a road. Bloody opportunists. Barely destroyed the track and a house pops up. So yeah, this train here is about to hit a dead end. Cost is the main reason, according to Londonist. Cost to whom? The consumer or TFL? I'm imagining it's to TFL. I don't know, there's just something about Oyster about being able to travel all over London using a single card. And I know you will still be able to do that with contactless, but Oyster just feels like a more efficient way of doing it. I think tube numbers declined every year for the last 5 years or so, because I read an article about TFL was starting to get a little bit concerned as to why that was. And then I think it was when Crossrail was first announced to be delayed as well, because they kind of tied that into the article and said, well, if Crossrail's now delayed, then what's that going to mean for X, Y, and Z? You gonna work? Yeah, good. So if that's now the case, you're Lindinghatton, you're Lindinghatton. So you are going to have to stay next to each other. So we will just signal you, whoops, and you, and you, and you. Okay, so you're done. You can run again. Then we're going to grab the electrified track. We're going to get rid of this freight only rail because we don't need it. Is this used? Or was this just a marker? You are used. Okay. So if we say, get rid of you first and foremost, and get rid of you. Because I want the track to run down here. This gap here. Run all the way down and connect up over there. And on this side, run all the way up to like here. And then, if I grabbed you and dragged you across, you would go there, 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 there. I think that. Maybe one over. Actually, no, that works. There we go. So, again, let's get rid of this track here, get rid of this track here, and here, and here. You will then go there. According to TFL, that is not the case. They slowed in 2016-17 and 2017-18. Huh, okay. DLR is up and overground is down. Yeah. I think it's pretty obvious why the overground perhaps hasn't been the most popular for the last how late are those trains? However long that was, basically. There we go. Right, so Rindingwell Bridge, we're going to remove 25 and 89. Yeah. 25 and 89. 88 now. Alright, so Queen's Park is 24 and 88. Yep, that all looks fine. And then on the way back, 87. Yeah, you can be 30 rather than 20. There we go. And then the station can go somewhere around here. Shall I signal it first? That's probably a good idea. I don't actually know what the signal distance is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it is that. There we are. So there will be a platform down here. Let's go single-sided. Queen's Park. Hey Kurt, I saw you just appear on Uplay. Is there a little surprise in order? Yeah, Gosfloat's barking declined incredibly rapidly from what I've seen. People are very happy now with the new trains, but they were not very happy not long ago. Should we have tickets first, actually? Tickets. Benches. Sign. And then some shelters. There we go. New Queen's Park. Done. Okay, so this big patch of barren ground here where the railway used to be, we're about to carve a hole straight through it and turn it into the river. Will we see on October 13th when the first quarter? Yeah, it'll all become obvious then. Nice, nice cut. I'll be on straight after I finish this. I see the guys were already on as well. I've been keeping half an eye on Discord. I think the bus... Say I did that, and then that would run under there. This road would go probably like this, whoops, like this, and then would go up and over to here, like that. I'm just trying to see how this would look. So essentially this is going to be the new road that will join up to everything else. And I am going to destroy all this and start again from scratch. Yeah, whatever you are. So this road here is going to run along like this. So you're going to run up, then along, and then up, and then along. And then you're going to connect up there. Trash memes on the Discord. Oh, I've not been keeping an eye on the chat. I've just been keeping an eye on who's online. I don't know. I've kind of enjoyed playing unranked on Siege. It's been a nice challenge, even if it has been a bit irritating at times, shall we say. Alright, so the new river is going to come through here, and then here it's going to pop over a tile and do this, and then here it's going to pop over a tile again, and it's going to do this. So all of this needs to be demolished to make way for the new river. So all these here are going to become bridges that go across the top. Like so. And like so. So yeah, destroy this road here. Let's build our bridges back first. So let's go viaduct, that type, tide arch, trying to make them all different, suspension, very nice. That suspension. Why are these the same? Let's put truss. And then here we'll have like tubular, just to be a little bit different. There we go, and then all of these like so. Looking good. Looking very good. So the river is connected. At least it is on this side. So we could now run tourist boats between Plint Bridge and the centre of Gardcity, which is good. Let's make the river a little bit wider here, since we can. I'll leave it here to build some houses on, but this section here could be a little bit wider. This section here as well could be a little bit wider. There we go. And then this bit, it will thin in order to then curve around. So yeah, this does go... Oh, it doesn't quite go... Oh, it does if we use the canal here. We can get over to Drape Road and places like that as well. It's also been claimed that High Speed 2 will better connect 73 destinations. Yeah, I've seen there's a campaign on the tube, isn't there, at the moment, where people have been putting up like northern towns and cities as tube station names, and it's part of a campaign to build the high-speed rail connections that the government promised and are now defaulting on. We'll avoid politics as much as possible on that matter, though, because it's just so depressing. There's no other way of putting it. It's just so bloody depressing right now. Okay, so this is going to become our new little cutaway here. Like this. And again, I'll put these bridges back in just to please the locals. This metro line here could in theory go underground through an underwater tunnel. We might end up doing that. I don't know yet. Okay, so you zigzag this way, and then I was about to say, where's the line gone? But that's because... There we go. So yeah, this line here, I don't think is getting used now, so we could remove it. This one here we will keep because it connects the Great Eastern to the loop. There we go, and then we'll remove that bridge there. So here, what we actually want to do is just turn south. And I think up until maybe here, we'll run alongside the freight line. So we are destroying quite a bit of Dunford there. Not a huge amount, I suppose. A fair amount. Yeah, I think High Speed 2 will happen. It's as I've always said, we've done too much of it now to stop. I think a lot of people will be... I know a lot of people are campaigning against it for environmental reasons, but a lot of people, particularly in the north of England, will be very, very upset if it does get cancelled, because they were promised better rail links for the last like 4 or 5 elections, and if it ends up not happening, they're going to be so annoyed. No government can recover from that kind of lie. Is there a part 2 of City Skylines coming anytime? Yes and no. I'd like to play Skylines again. Usual trick. Oh, there's a tunnel there. Usual trick with Skylines. The game is just too... Because I did it on my laptop, so I'll move it over onto my desktop, which means I can beef up some of the settings. But it was just running so bloody slow, and I was really struggling to make ends meet financially. The city went bankrupt, basically. I had to scale back a lot of stuff in order to not go bust. So I think I'll be starting again. Brand new city. And I think I'll avoid doing the crappy suburban thing that I was doing last time as well, and just go full ham on big scale buildings. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I don't like talking about High Speed 2, because it's very hard to not talk about it without mentioning politics, and I've just... There's a reason why so many content creators have a no politics rule. It's just such a boring, depressing subject. So we'll leave it there if you don't mind. I might do an unlimited money run. I've thought about it. I do like the challenge of money, but then I always end up hating the challenge of money. So I could end up just playing with no money and trying to build something nice and functional rather than just trying to make ends meet with the old bottom line. I still liked the idea I had of asking someone else to build a city for me and then just going around fixing traffic and transport problems and things like that. That might be fun. The problem with that is I then need someone to build a city for me, which isn't something that can just happen overnight. Plus that person then has to have all the DLC that I plan on using, which again isn't as easy said. Which again is easier said than done, unless you're me, because I can't say anything. Might make this come over a little bit more. So the plan here is these 4 lines. Yeah, freedom to build. That's the key word. Rather than having to worry about your finances, you can just build what you want. And when I did my Cities in Motion 2 series, that's one of the things I enjoyed most about that series, was I was earning so much money that I could have spent every single penny that I had and still had loads left over, because I was generating more than I could spend. Alright, fast lines and then slow lines. Actually, I might do that one. Yeah, I'll try not to steal other people's series, obviously, because that's not very nice. But it's kind of like, it's basically playing Cities in Motion was the idea I had. So I have a city on city skylines that is mostly functional, but just has some traffic problems, or doesn't really have a functioning transport system, and build my own. That was the plan, that kind of setup. I think that'll work quite well. I think people would enjoy watching that. Right, I need to get this freight train out of the way. So the plan here is to redirect this line this way. So remove that signal and remove that signal. And put it there and there. You have a city, is that? Or... Wow, 1,133 tiles. I don't think we'll be building that one somehow. Yeah, if anyone's watching this that has a city they'd like to see me play around with, feel free. We'll have to set up a way for it to be sent over, whether it's sent on the workshop or via email or something. Yeah, that's my thing. I have like a tiny community with like 2,000 people, but it has like a metro system suitable for a city of 2 million people. That's definitely my problem. Too much forward planning. And it's not just traffic. I use traffic as an example because I would use public transport to solve a traffic problem. But, you know, any lack of transport infrastructure basically is what I would work with. Steam Workshop would probably be better, but then you put it on the Steam Workshop and anyone can download it. And actually, there might be, I think there is a way to make it private, thinking about it. So you'd have to do that. But yeah, sounds good. I don't know when that would be. I don't know when that series would start, because time is not something I have a huge amount of right now. I always say that as well. I hate saying that, because I always sound like one of those people that's being really mysterious, going, oh, I don't have much time because I'm working on things. But genuinely, I am working on things. It's just a lot of it I can't talk about right now. Well, you know I'm working on the website. I've mentioned that a couple of times. That's where some of my time's gone. The rest of it is all XVI. Alright, we can get rid of this track now. So you and you. Fix the signalling. There we go. So we have to let this train go by. Plus we have to wait for the water to fill in this channel. So that we can build... Where was it? Over here. So we could build this tunnel back in. Zachary, hey. I have a large bus system based on real life, but I have a few mods that would be required to download. Yeah, I tend to play with things like Metro Overhaul mod I play with, and Fine Road Anarchy. There's the Transport AI, is it called? The one where you can get vehicles to spread out a little bit better. I tend to play with all the big hitters. I tend to play with. So how's this looking over here now? Yeah, it's going back slowly but surely. So you are heading to Queen's Park. Good. So yeah, this area here will become the new Queen's Park bus station to sit alongside the railway. It will all look very, very nice when it's done. I hope. I mean, it already looks quite nice. That skyscraper popping up, that's good. As long as industries don't grow on the water. I think we've set it up now, haven't we? So it's funding only. So no new industries will spawn. Which is basically what we want. Alright, how are we doing over here? We're nearly in the right spot. This tunnel is going to have to be extended. Unless we bridge it. Do we bridge it? No, I think we will build a tunnel, but we will go... We'll have a little tunnel here, and then in this gap here, we'll have like a small shaft opening. That could be when, you know, when it was steam powered, let's say. That's one of the ventilation shafts. And then it will tunnel under the river to this side. Then yeah, we will get metro trains out here again soon as well. Particularly as currently this metro line doesn't go anywhere, but it will eventually go up here. Maybe underneath this, and then over here it will come across to Readingworth, and Wanton metro station will just get shut down. Replaced with something else. Couldn't find those signalling and realism guides we spoke about last time. What, the signalling tutorial that I did? It's in the playlist. Or it should be. If it isn't, I'll add it. Someone wants to check that for me. It should be a 0.5 episode. And it's just called like signaling tutorial or something like that. Oh, I built that in the wrong place. Of course I did. So yeah, we just need a one tile gap there. There we go. Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, they're in there. The realism one, I haven't done a video specifically about realism, but there's one I did on scheduling, timetabling trains, and there's one I did on signalling, and they are both on there definitely. Fine, let me find that. Oh, there we go. Thank you, George. Episode 11.5. It's in the playlist. Okay, how far away are we now? Oh, we still got a long way to go. This is basically what it's going to be now. It's just trying to snake this river in and out of all these buildings that we've got. So yeah, this is where the river now flows. So if we cut this back, we'll build a new bridge over here. Part of Lieutenant Joker's patch, he added the underwater tunnels patch. So you can build tunnels. There has to be a gap. Hang on, let me show you. So I don't think I needed to build that up like I did, but oh well. So there has to be a gap here of between 5 and 8 tiles. So here it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the fifth one's the water. So it can't be right up against it, and it also can't be miles away from it. In the game, so if I was to follow a train here, it would go into the tunnel, and then somewhere around this area, it would treat it as a slope down, and it will go down one tile, and then underneath the water, and then somewhere around here, it will come back up one tile. So I've used that a lot in and around Gardcity. It's a really, really nice feature that the game has now. I'd even go as far as to call it a game changer. Okay, so we're going to come up through here. We are going to do a lot of demolition again, so apologies for those of you that don't like seeing that. So the river here is going to get a little bit narrower as we drive underneath these bridges. There we go. Yeah, we need to stop the water from flooding the tracks there. We'll lower this. Not a problem. Yeah, any questions like that, let me know. Trust me, I think I was on Reddit or something one day and I saw underwater tunnels. I was like, how the hell did they do that? And then when I found out it was a patch, I was like, oh, that's cool. And then when I found out Joker was adding them to his patch pack, I was like, oh, that's really cool. It's for progress. It's in the name of progress. You might lose your house, but you know the town gets a nice new something. I'm sure there's compensation paid out as well. These people are looked after. It's not Victorian Britain. All I'm doing is demolishing a few people's family homes so that I can drive a pointless river through the middle to be able to run some freight boats. So not only will they have to deal with the fact that they've lost their house, but they'll also have to deal with the fact that there's going to be loud cargo ships going past their house all day and night. What's wrong with that? There you go, we can widen it up again here. So we are getting closer. Slowly but surely. This bit's also going to be a bit of a challenge. The good citizens of Prenfingford are about to have their homes destroyed as well. Oh, thanks, Zachary. That's really nice. Yeah, you might be homeless, but at least the town looks nice. Stop being so selfish and crying about your house. Think about the other people in the town. Some people have now got a lovely riverside view. You got to make it about you, Karen, haven't you? That's a internet joke for those of you that don't know. Not anymore, I can't. But back in the day, this definitely happened a lot. One day you'd come home and find a note pinned to your door saying that, you know, the Midland Railway have bought your property, and 2 days later it wouldn't exist anymore. And then 2 years later, St Pancras International would open, or St Pancras as it was then, would open. So yeah, I'm going to try and run here as close to the railway as possible. So we're going to run underneath and then along and then this way. Going through this bit is going to be quite simple. We'll just pick this area here because it's basically the suburbs of Letford. We will interrupt Frunford a little bit, but then it's basically a straight run. We're almost done, people. We are almost done. And I know what's going to happen now. I'm going to finish my stream and I'm going to join Discord and I'm going to be told that they've already got a team of 5. I try to be consistent with my streaming. Streaming is slightly different to video making, because if I'm struggling to think of something to do on stream, I've got a whole group of people here that I can ask. Whereas, like, there's no videos on my YouTube channel this week besides this, and the reason mainly is because I've been polishing off the website, but also because I had some videos ready to go and just didn't really have the motivation to upload them. So they are there. They'll go up next week. It's the usual thing of, like, this series is really good. I get on average over 100 views a week on this video, in this series, which is good. Can never complain about that, and I do appreciate every single one of you that watches this. But all my other series, they get like 5 or 6 views, which is not very good. So I would like the views to get spread around a little bit more, but I know I can't force people who watch this to then go and watch Factorio, for example, because it's not everyone's thing. Would be nice if it was, but I know that's not always the case. Right, there's a couple. Oopsie doodle. Here's the old misclicks again. I think we'll go 5 wide here actually, so we are going to get rid of all this too. Rate of babies named Karen plummets. Yeah, it's I don't actually know where it started, but it's basically like if there's a woman in your life who's selfish and only thinks of herself, you know, she's called Karen. It's that kind of thing. Even though, I mean, I know some Karens and they're not like that at all. But once you've got the stereotype, it just sticks. Yeah, I use a lot of cheats. Mainly because I have no money a lot of the time, so it's just trying to get money. So you can see at the bottom right there, we have £2 trillion, 2.9 trillion pounds. But if I left this game running overnight, by about midday tomorrow, I'd be bankrupt, because there's something wrong. And I had a look in the source code for this as well. There's something wrong with the way the financing is done in this game. I lose so much money every year. So look at the other here. So we're doing a lot of landscaping, and that does cost a lot of money. But even things like new vehicles, because we're constantly auto-renewing, construction, I mean, we have done a lot of construction. Property maintenance, £4 billion a year on property maintenance. Train running costs are staggeringly high, and that's train income is our biggest, and we're only making £331 million a year, and we're spending £4 billion on property maintenance. So we are losing money constantly, and it's getting to be a bit of a pain. Out of interest, what do people watch to make them laugh? Good question. I watch a lot of game fail videos. they're not as funny anymore. Mono-eye problems. So like this, I used to watch a lot of Rainbow Six tutorial type videos, and then I started watching a lot of Rainbow Six fail videos, because that's a really good way to learn how to play the game. You watch how other people mess up, and you just tell yourself to not do that, basically, which sounds really obvious, but you'd be surprised. So that's kind of what I used to find funny, but it's like what happened with You've Been Framed. You end up with people just setting up cameras and doing something stupid deliberately. So in Siege, there's a new trick now, which is if someone's on their drone, you just go and crouch behind them and wait for them to turn around, and then you kill them, which was fine when it first started, but now it's become a case of everyone knows you're going to do that, so they deliberately go on their drone to bait you into crouching down behind them, and then they kill you. And the only reason that becomes successful is because these people are so fixated on becoming YouTube famous by doing a funny clip like that, that they don't actually play the game anymore. So that's not what I watch anymore, because if you feed it, it'll continue. The best way to make it stop is to stop watching it. So I don't watch that anymore. But I watch a lot of fail videos. I watch a lot of r/ videos. What else do I watch? Oh, I watch Nostalgia Critic. If anyone doesn't know who that is, I highly recommend you check him out. He had a bit of a blip, I feel, a couple of years ago, but he's kind of hit the ground running again this year. This season's been really, really good. So I've enjoyed that. Just having fun. Hello. Sorry, I missed your message. How are you? I'm doing well. Just finishing up this this canal. It's a bit unfortunate that you come in just as I'm driving a wedge through the middle of Frunford. It doesn't look great, I'll give you that. But in the words of Hot Fuzz, it's for the greater good. So yeah, we'll build nice bridges over here of some kind. Yeah, home straight. Factorio is not my taste, neither is Football Manager. I'm surprised Factorio isn't your thing, George. It's the whole... What originally drew me to it was the idea of building production lines, because at the time I was studying the exact same thing at uni, so it was kind of like putting what I was learning at uni into practice, whereas now it's not so much because my factory is terribly inefficient. But the train system in Factorio is very, very advanced. The pathing system is up there with OpenTTD in terms of what you can and can't do with it. I've built this in the wrong place. The idea now is to just go straight across under here. Like that. So yeah, I like Factorio a lot, and I'm really disheartened, shall we say, that the series hasn't taken off as well as I'd hoped it would. But, as I said, I can't force people to watch it, and if it genuinely isn't people's thing, then so be it. But it would have been nice to get some traction from that. One of the drawbacks, really, and I don't want to bitch and moan and complain, but the Reddit subreddit for Factorio has a rule that you can only upload one, or you can only post a link to one video per Let's Play. And I've already done that, so I can't promote my video anymore on their subreddit, which is a bit dumb, but you got to respect the rules. I love dumbest tweets or stupid people on the internet, such as the one on Most Amazing Top 10. Reaction time. Oh yeah, I watch a lot of Rooster Teeth. I don't mention Rooster Teeth as much as I do. I'd still like to work for them one day, but it's always that thing. I watched the Bernie Vlogs series, and he did an Ask Me Anything type thing, and someone asked him, how do you work for Rooster Teeth? And he said, why do you want to work for Rooster Teeth? Why don't you just go and make your own Rooster Teeth? And it was around about that time that Kurt asked me if I wanted to be part of XVI. So I kind of treat XVI as not like Rooster Teeth, because we are very, very different, but it's kind of following in that mantra of, if there is a company out there that you really, really want to work for, and it's looking less and less likely that that will be possible, just go out and make your own version of it. As long as you don't rip people off and break the law. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And you might end up being just as successful, and you can still live out your dream job. Speaking of, we might have some XVI announcements in the not too distant future, so that's something else that people need to look out for. Now they have a big canyon, I should protest. I might give it a go, it's not really bothered me, but I'll try your series. I don't actually watch Michael McIntyre's YouTube channel, even though I'm a big fan of his. I've not watched any of his videos. Problem is, I've watched it all before, so like I know the jokes. I know exactly what's going to happen and when, and that does kind of ruin it. What else do I watch? I watch a lot of Quill. Not to laugh necessarily, but he's a very, very good content creator. He's inspired me a lot in my work. I hope he finds that out one day, actually. I might have to go and tell him. Things like RimWorld and Factorio and even City Skylines I started playing because I saw Quill playing them. I don't think he's ever played OpenTTD on his channel. He's talked about it a lot, and he's talked about playing it in the past, but not on YouTube. But Railroad Tycoon is how I found him, because I tried to find a way to get Railroad Tycoon to work on my PC, and I found his videos. And yeah, from there, once I find a YouTuber like that, and I really like their stuff, I go back and watch their back catalogue as well, which again is something I would highly recommend, mainly for my channel, but also for other people's. If you've only just discovered the M4J channel, there's so many playlists that you can go back and watch that might be right up your street in terms of content. So don't just focus on the new stuff, go back and watch some of the old stuff as well, because the chances are there's something there that you would actually enjoy. Factorio is a surprisingly easy game to run. You do still have to have a half decent PC, but considering the number of bots and trains and things like that you can have going at any one time, you don't need like a massive processor to make it work. You can actually go with something a little bit more basic, which I think is a really good really good feature of the game. Let's not go with one of them. Let's just go with the Viaduct. Any game where you can just plug it in and play it is always a favourite of mine. OpenTTD is definitely the best for that, and it's free. The fact that this whole game is so much fun to play, and it's absolutely free. More people need to take note of that. I think this was Fredwood Waypoint 3. Let's check. Oh no, that's there. Where is the one that was here? Was there one here? There might not have been one here, actually. I might have made that up. I thought there was one there, though. But maybe not. Right, I think we're done. I think we are done. This is all linked up. The water will gradually creep in. I think all the bridges have been replaced. The tunnels have been replaced. These have all been done. We did the ones down here as well. So yeah, I think we can start wrapping up the stream. So I won't do it on stream, but I will create a new version of this save, and I'll call it M4J Network, so that you know you've downloaded the right file. Corridor Digital, that's the other one I was going to say. I found, a bit like with Rooster Teeth, I actually discovered Rooster Teeth way back in 2007. When I first got Halo 3, I started watching Halo 3 videos. Again, it started off as fail videos, and I came across Red vs. Blue, and at the time I didn't really click what it was. It was just a funny satire series, and me, my brother, and my friend tried to recreate it, to very little success. And then many years later, 4 years ago now, 3-4 years ago, I was trying to find a GTA video, and I came across Achievement Hunter, and I started reading up on them, and then I found out that they were part of Rooster Teeth. And the other thing was, at the time I was at uni and I was watching the slow-mo guys a lot. So when I found out that Gavin was in Achievement Hunter, my mind was blown. And then I found out that Achievement Hunter were part of Rooster Teeth, and my mind was blown. And then I found out Rooster Teeth were the creators of Red vs. Blue, and my brain splattered all over the walls because my mind was blown. And I really like the fact that most YouTubers I watch these days have all at various points interacted with each other. So I was watching a Corridor Digital video the other day, and Tom Scott appeared out of nowhere. I was watching Jeff Marshall the other day, and Matt Parker appeared. I was watching Matt Parker, and Steve Mould appeared. I was watching Steve Mould, and Tom Scott appeared. And then when James Buckley started his YouTube channel, Completed It Mate, I was watching that, and now he's part of the Rooster Teeth Let's Play family. It's just insane how all these people start collaborating, almost to freakish levels for me. It becomes like an amazing coincidence that all these people sort of start collaborating with each other just after I start watching them. I'm not saying I'm responsible, before anyone twists my words, but it's really awesome to see that, and it kind of does give me hope that maybe one day I get to work with some of these people. Not so much for the gaming side, because you know, a lot of these creators don't make gaming videos, but in any way, shape or form, whether it's as a film editor or producer or writer or just a filmmaker, it'd be really nice to get to work with some of these people. YouTube is really good for that. A lot of people keep saying YouTube is dead, but believe me, it is not. YouTube views have never been higher. More and more content is uploaded every single day, and there's some really, really creative, talented people out there who are choosing to show off their work on YouTube rather than on, you know, network TV or feature films. But yeah, any more questions or comments or anything like that, or is it time to wrap things up? I'll give you a couple of minutes to think things through. I might leave the game unpaused just to let this water sort of seep in. I don't think I've got anything that's going to get flooded. I was a bit worried about the freight line here, but it looks like it's going to be okay. James Buckley. Yeah, Inbetweeners. If you've seen the Inbetweeners, Jay from the Inbetweeners, that's James Buckley. He has his own YouTube channel now. It's kind of, I followed him on Twitter for a long, long time. And then someone said to him as a joke one day, you should set up a YouTube channel and call it Completed It Mate, to go with the catchphrase that Jay has. And he did it. And he started working. He did a lot of GTA, GTA 3, GTA Vice City. He never got onto San Andreas, unfortunately. Now he does a lot of Call of Duty videos, mainly Black Ops 3, because he's not really been able to play the new ones. And then one day, because I knew he was doing auditions and stuff in California, and one day he did a vlog from California, and Jeff Ramsey and Gavin Free appeared. And that was the first time that I saw like two of my favourite YouTubers collaborate, and that's when I was like, what? And then yeah, then he joined the Let's Play family. He appears in quite a few of their videos now. I just think it's really awesome. I really like what Rooster Teeth doing. I know they've had a bump in the road recently, but he's hoping they recover from it. Yeah, I'll put on record now, the Inbetweeners is not in any way reflective of what happened at my school. Very much blown out of proportion, the Inbetweeners. Like, we used to watch it and just go, that would never happen. That literally would never happen. Standing naked on a boat in Swansea, we would just not do that. Alright, yep, I'm going to start wrapping up the stream now, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you, everyone, for coming in and chatting. Thank you to George, to Frank, to Zachary, to Gernmeyer, and also, hang on one second, Just Having Fun. Thank you. And Kurt as well. I don't know if Kurt's still here, though. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done so already. It really does help out the channel. Any kind of interaction with the video, even if for whatever reason you haven't liked the video, feel free to hit the dislike button as well. Any kind of interaction helps YouTube recognize the fact that this video exists. Drop some comments down below with ideas for future episodes as well, and also check out the Reddit post on my Reddit community. There's the best place to post comments because I get notified immediately, and also it's a single place where I can keep track of everything that's been going on. Besides that, if you haven't already hit the subscribe button, be sure to do that. It very much, again, helps out the channel. We are back up to 990 subs, so we are 10 away from the big 1,000. And I've already started reading up on what I can do when that happens regarding celebrations. there will be a celebration when we hit 1,000 subs, believe me, because it's taken so bloody long. And especially 2 years ago, it gained so much more significance with everything that happened. So if we can hit that milestone, I'll be very, very happy indeed. And of course, this high quality, well presented content will continue. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Why is my cursor froze? There we go. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and until next time, I will see you soon.